us as we update the latest in news.
Take the road up towards Geraldton. Ma's got some cousins there. They'll give us some grub and a bed. We'll spend the night at Paddy's Crossing along the way. Esau reckons they're going to have a jamboree.
What's a jamboree?
Just wait, you'll see.
Why are you going away?
You know why? You heard what Mr. George said? It'll do us some good to get on the road and see something of the country.
That's not the real reason.
What is then?
You're not going because Mr. George told you to.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, I ain't got time to argue.
Why are you going?
I can't stay in any one place for very long. Anyway, there's no reason for me to stay here anymore. You've been so distant since your father died. Angry, almost.
Angry?
It's not my fault he died. I'm not to blame.
Who says you are, not me?
You loved me once. I thought you did anyway.
Well, everything's changed.
Has it?
You know it has. It'll never be the same here without Dad. Never.
Crossing.
Tom Ellis. Praise be to the saints.
How'd you be, Paddy?
What's going on? Ah, wait. It's a wedding, don't you see? Me boy Patrick is getting wed. And me becoming a grandfather all in the same afternoon. She's going to have that baby any minute, if you ask me. Not a soul in the world has seen them speak a word to one another for the last year. But she says my poor innocent Pat is the father. And the priest says there's no avoiding holy matrimony. Come and have a drink, Tom. Come and wet the baby's eye.
Oh, Paddy, this is my friend Jack Grant.
Ah, good to see you, Jack. You can please yourselves whether it's a christening you're coming to or a wedding.
Oh, here it is. Ah. Oh. Good health.
Oh, here he is.
Sir, Jack.
Here he is. That black priest, Father Prendy.
What's that you're saying about me?
Well, black, I was calling you Father Prendy, and why not? Isn't it many a good drink you'll be having on me a full of days, out, eh? And isn't it a pretty penny you're costing me with you, giving him marriage on marriage?
Hold your peace, Paddy, my dear. Friends, I'd like you to take your glasses and let's all drink a toast to the bride. At this moment absent on the high mission of motherhood. The bride.
Bride. And I drink to the groom, young Pat, God bless him, who did the right and proper thing, and may he never live to regret it.
The groom.
The groom.
And I drink to the priest, Father Prendy, that black limb of salvation.
You'll need a towel, mister.
You're right.
Come on, I'll get you one. Come in and I'll dry your hair for you.
Well, where's the towel?
I'll use this.
Oh, what would Monica say if she could see you now, eh?
Get out of here.
I didn't think you're old enough for this sort of lark. How often do you shave, lad, eh? Once a month, eh?
Oh, do you want to fight?
Well, let's fight. Are you too scared? Come on. Right. Come on, then. Oh.
By God, Esau, if you've done for him, I'll have you indicted.
Bloody little came at me bashing my jaw, and I hadn't even touched him. I had to fight to defend myself. Bloody little.
It was a foul! A foul be buggered! It was a free fight, no blasted umpire's call for. If that bloody bastard wants to get up, I'll give him some more. I'll teach him to come crying over an Australian. He's bleeding! Come on!
I die, in hell I shall lie, with fire and chains and awful pains. You must be a good, loving little boy, Jack, and then you'll grow up to be just like your father. But if you're full of hatred, then when you die, in hell you shall lie, with fire and chains and awful pains.
Stop it! Do you believe in hell?
Do you? I dare not.
Dare not?
If hell exists, I shall go there for sure.
What makes you think that?
Because of the hatred in my heart.
Your heart is not full of hatred. Think of the people you love. Think of Monica.
Oh, Monica. Oh, do I love her?
Don't you?
Oh, she'd give herself to me, I would.
And Mary?
Yes, I should love Mary. I ought to, really, but I don't.
What about Lenny? And Tom?
Oh, yes. I love Lenny and Tom. I'll always love them.
And your father?
My father. No, I don't love my father. But I don't want to hurt him. Not my fault, I don't love him. He's a good man. But I wasn't born with love for him in me.
Don't be afraid of not loving someone. It doesn't mean that you have to hate them. Rest. Try to sleep. And remember, you're not obliged to love people. Not even your own father.
And when you die, in hell you shall lie, with fire and chains and awful pains.
Let me lie in hell, then!
Jack, wake up. What time is it?
Early. Come on, hurry up. Let's get a move on before racket starts. Don't want him tagging along after us. Struth, what happened to you?
Tell you later.
Come on.
Tom? Let's take a look. Hello? Anyone at home? I'll take a look around the back. Tom?
Who are you? What do you want?
Well, we called out. Nobody answered.
What do you want? shelter, that's all. Can we spend the night in your barn?
Master don't take no strangers.
Well, we just want some shelter for the night.
Didn't you hear what I said? Master don't take no strangers.
Well, perhaps you could go and ask him, would you?
You're not from the police by any manner of means?
Good Lord, no.
My name's Ellis. Tom Ellis from Wandoo, over York way.
I've heard that name. Yeah. Well, Master's sick, and he's scared to death of the police. They're ready to drop in on this place the minute he breathes his last breath. Rot him! And he's scared he's dying this time.
Well, why should the police come here when he dies?
Well, that's how they do it, see?
Do what?
They gets the places in grants, like. They let a man have a grant. When a poor man dies, the government steps in and takes it all. Rot him. Now, the master, he's wrote a letter to his only living relation upon this earth, to his nephew, to come and lay hold on the place. Of course, if there's no one to lay hold on the place when master dies, the priest steps in without a word. Stay there. Don't move. Stay.
It's Baldy. Bush mad. What's the matter?
Something moving in the yard. There must have been one of the animals.
Listen, friend, we're nothing to do with the police. We're harmless. Would you please go and ask your master if we can camp in the barn out of the rain?
Ellis, you say your name is?
Yes, that's right.
Let's see you prove it, then.
Prove it?
How do I know you're not from the police? How do I know you'll tell me the truth?
I am Dr. Rackett from Cambridge University, and I will vouch for this man. He is indeed Tom Ellis, and that is Jack Grant. And there's no harm in any of us.
Jack Grant, did you say? Would that be Mr. John Grant?
That's my name, yes.
Oh, glory, 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 praise the Lord, glory. This is the best news I ever did hear. The very best. Praise the Lord. Wait a moment, sir, and I'll go up and tell Master you've arrived. Oh, praise the Lord.
God almighty.
Case of mistaken identity. Hang on, boys, we'll get a night's shelter.
What are you doing here, Dr. Rackett?
No, I just thought I'd roam around for a spell. Hence my following on your heels.
I broke the news to him, sir. He'd be happy to see you right away.
What is your master's name?
Eh? You mean you don't know?
Well, of course not.
But this is your destination. This is Mr. John Grant's place, the place you've been looking for.
He thinks you're the nephew.
Oh, your uncle's most eager to see you, sir. He's been awaiting most anxious ever since he wrote that letter.
Well, look, there must be some mistake. I never got a letter.
Eh? What? Do come up right away, sir. No more joking. Your nephew's arrived, Master, and he's brought a doctor and another gentleman. The Lord be praised.
The Lord don't need to be praised on my behalf, Amos. And I ain't got no nephew. Even if I did send him a letter, I got nobody. Nobody.
But they've called to see you, sir. They're outside with me now.
Oh, all right then. Tell them to walk in.
Yes, Master. Walk in.
How do you do? I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, but I'm not your nephew.
I know you're not. I ain't got no nephew. But you are Jack Grant, are you?
Yes, I am.
Jack Grant. I'm right glad to see you, cousin. I'm surely glad you've come in time. Who are those two?
This is Dr. Rackett.
A doctor? Who sent for a doctor?
Nobody.
You're sure he's nothing to do with the police?
No, he's a friend. A friend of mine. A friend of the Ellises.
A friend. Well, I've a nice, tidy place I've put together for you, cousin. A small proposition, 3,000 acres. 500 cleared and cropped, 50 fenced. Dog lane fences. Broke McCullen's back putting 'em up. But I'd willingly put in 500 more for a gentleman like young master. Meaning old master'll soon be underground. But who cares? Now young master's come to light. And the house shall not go out of the family. I'm determined it shall stay in the family, Cousin Jack. Aren't you pleased?
Very, very pleased.
Call me Cousin John. Or Uncle John, if you like. I'm more like your uncle, I should think. Shake hands. And say, right you are, Uncle John. Call me Uncle John.
Right you are. Uncle John.
Good, good, very good. Is your name really Jack Grant?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and that's the name you were born with?
Yes.
Shall I tell you how I got my name? I got a grant from the government. Shilling an acre. And that's what I called myself. Grant. See? John Grant.
Oh, yeah.
A better-looking nephew I never wish to see. Be more like me, as an ape is like meat. Still, I'll soon be dead, so I won't be alive to trouble you. But who cares? Doesn't matter. Let them come. It'll stay in the family, yes. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
He's so very tired, sir. I think you best leave him now.
How about some food? We've all had a long ride.
Yes, sir. I'll get supper right away, sir. Just follow me.
You're thinking of Monica. Well, you've not spoken for almost half an hour. Who else or what else would occupy your thoughts so profoundly? Am I right?
In a way.
How painful it is. That longing, that yearning.
Only I could be free of it.
Do you mean that?
Of course. Keep wondering, is it Monica I long for, or is it just a longing for love, for a woman?
If the pain is that bad, there's one sure way to be rid of it.
What's that?
Find another mistress.
A whore, you mean?
Why not this?
Go.
As seductive as any woman and infinitely more rewarding.
Yeah.
Keep it.
How could I go looking for gold? I know nothing at all about mining.
Neither did I when I came to Australia, but you'll soon learn, like I did. I used every penny I had. And I was a wealthy man. I bought land, hired navvies, but luck wasn't on my side. Luck's not enough. Neither is money. You need to be a fighter to get gold out of the earth. And that's something I've never been. But you, Jack, it's in your blood. You're a born fighter. You can do it. Don't waste your time farming.
How do you start? I wouldn't know where to begin.
I've written it all down for you. Everything. Where to go, how to stake your claim. Everything.
Why do you want me to do this? It's obviously very important to you. Why?
Supposing it was a woman and not gold. Supposing it was a woman I had loved and never conquered. And supposing I felt sure that she would submit to you. Surely you can understand that there would be a certain satisfaction in, which we say, encouraging her downfall.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
It's not possible.
Anything's possible.
Arrangements have been made.
Change them.
And Tom wouldn't agree.
Why should that stop you?
Why?
You don't know what he's talking about.
You mean there isn't any gold?
Some, I dare say.
Well, then.
I don't trust him. I never have. He's just a remittance man, Jack.
What's that?
A waster. A useless bird shipped out here to be kept south of the line because he's a disgrace back in England. And his family clear their conscience by sending him so much a month, which they call his remittance, instead of letting him starve or work.
And that's why you dislike him?
I despise the man. He's nothing but useless baggage, rotting life away.
He's no harm.
How do you know? If he hasn't got a disease of the body, he's sure got a disease of the soul.
What do you mean? Tell me what you mean.
All right, opium. They reckon he takes opium.
Well, I think he's right about the gold. I'm going to find out. If you won't come with me, I'll go alone.
Go alone, then. I've seen what gold fever does to people, Jack, so you go by yourself.
Get a cup. Mr. Grant, please, stop, Mr. Grant. Please. Stop, Mr. Grant. Young master's not going so soon. Please, please, sir. Master's so weak in head and stomach, we can't cope with him by ourselves.
Don't worry. I'll stay. And Tom, you're not going, are you? There you are. You see, you'll have plenty of help. Nothing to worry about. Off you go. Off you go. Good luck. Well, breakfast, I think, don't you? I'm feeling remarkably hungry. This place is in a dreadful mess. The house in particular. Why don't you make a start on it this morning? Good man.
Doc Racket ain't the sort of company as I like to keep.
right? Right.
Watch out!
Jack! 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 You all right? God damn it! Blasted! Blasted rocket! God damn it! Blasted hell! Hey, spare a bull for a beer, mister?
Jack! Is it really you?
Yes.
What your father would say, I dread to think. Does he know what you've been up to? What have you told him?
Nothing.
Have you not written?
Nope.
Not at all?
Well, I can't. I tried, but I can't. I just can't write to them. They seem to belong to a different world, a different life almost.
Well, I only hope you've learned your lesson, Jack. Have you?
What do you mean? What lesson?
Scarcely the sort of life your parents intended for you. scratching for gold like a navvy.
Well, what's wrong with being a navvy?
Now, you know what I mean.
Well, perhaps I like scratching for gold. Did that ever occur to you?
Don't start picking a quarrel, please.
Forget about my family. I'm a miner now. Nothing but a miner. And I'm going to use all the skills I've learned, and learn with a lot of hard effort, I might say. I'm going to use those skills to conquer gold.
We all think that when we're young.
Oh, I mean it. And I don't mind paying the price. I'm going to fight to get gold out of the earth. If I don't succeed, I'll die fighting.
What do you intend doing then?
We'll go back to the gold fields, of course. When I came here, I thought I'd have to give it all up. But now, thanks to my father, I shall have another try. Ironic, isn't it?
Why, thanks to your father?
That letter you gave me, it contained a cheque for £100. A birthday gift for my coming of age. Perhaps I should tell him that his birthday gift will be used to further his son's career as a navvy. What do you think he'd make of that?
I can hardly believe you're that same young fellow whom I met off that boat. Shy, homesick young fellow who spent the night in this very room. Do you remember him? You've changed a lot in the last couple of years.
Good. That's why they sent me war, after all, to be changed, to grow up, to become a man.
I have the uneasy feeling you're making fun of me. Please don't.
Is Mary still with you?
No, not at the moment. She's staying at the Blessingtons. Do you know the Blessingtons?
No.
Oh, Boyd Blessington's an old friend of mine. His wife died a few years ago. Needed a companion for his daughter, Hilda, so that's what Mary's doing.
Well, does she enjoy it?
Yes. Well, she seems to. I think so. She seems to anyway.
Well, I'd like to see her.
So shall I. Just had an idea what a laugh.
What?
Tonight. You shall see her tonight.
Well, what's so funny about that?
I'll tell you. There's a ball at Government House. Now, if I could get hold of a couple of tickets, you could go. You and Tom. Wouldn't that be a laugh? Shouldn't be too difficult to get you both some decent clothing. What do you say?
Well, it sounds marvelous.
Wouldn't it give her the surprise of her life?
Away for several
This is Jack Grant from Wandu. I was telling you, and Tom.
Hello, Mary.
Dear Tom, oh, it's so good to see you.
Excuse us.
How did you come to be here?
We got back this morning. Ready to the story.
Mr. Grant, my daughter Hilda.
Oh, Miss Blessington.
How do you do, Mr. Grant? I hear you've been frightening poor old Mr. George out of his wits.
Well, yes, I'm afraid I have.
Imagine how I felt. Two young ruffians coming up to me on the street. I thought my last hour had come.
You've been looking for gold, I gather, Mr. Grant.
Yes, sir, but without any luck.
Perhaps you should stick to farming in the future.
Oh, not me. I still have my claim, and we haven't exhausted it yet.
False hopes are harder to cure than a wooden leg.
So you'll be going back to the goldfields?
Certainly.
Those of you?
Not me, sir. I've had more than enough to do me a lifetime.
And Tom has a good store of common sense. You'll be wise to take his advice.
With your permission, sir, I'd like to steal Mary away for this dance.
Of course.
It seems you've been away so long. Are you pleased to be back?
I am.
Very pleased?
Yes, I am.
You must have suffered a lot.
Suffered?
Oh, hardships, unhappiness, disappointment.
When you go looking for gold, you have to expect a few setbacks. What has been happening to you all this time?
Oh, lots of little things. Scarcely worth talking about.
Oh, no big things.
They want me to marry. I lie awake at night wondering about it.
Marry who?
They want me to marry Mr. Blessington.
The gentleman I've just met?
Yes.
But he's old enough to be your father.
Oh, hardly. He's only 37.
Well, have you accepted him?
No, not yet.
Well, do you like him?
In some ways. He's a good man. And he wants me in a good way. He's a man of the world. And Mr. George says it's a wonderful opportunity for me, and I know it is.
How is Monica?
Oh, well, as far as I know. I haven't been out to Wandoo for some time.
Do you want to marry this man?
No. Go back. We must.
Is that your world, Mary?
What? Your world? Is that your world? Because that's the sort of world you'd live in with Mr. Blessington. I suppose he's quite rich.
Oh, don't be horrid to me.
You'll never marry him.
Why shan't I?
You just won't.
I shall if Mr. George makes me. I'm absolutely dependent on him. Can you imagine what it's like to be dependent on someone? Can you? No, of course you can't. I want to be free. And I'd be much freer if I married Mr. Blessington. I'm tired of being as I am.
What would you really like to do?
I want to live on a farm.
Marry Tom, then. Has Mr. Blessington proposed to you yet?
No.
Don't let him. Would you really be happy on a farm?
Yes.
Even if it was hard work?
Yes.
I shall have a farm one day. A good one. Can you wait for me? Even if it were for 2 years.
There you are. Mr. Blessington's looking for you, Mary, my dear. I believe you promised him the polka.
Yes, so I did.
Lovely evening. Not at all too hot.
What were you to say for yourself, running off with Mary like that?
Like what? We were dancing.
I'm not a fool, my dear boy. And I'm not going to let her lose the chance of a lifetime. Mr. Blessington is a good man for Mary, a godsend. Besides, they're well suited to one another. Leave her alone. Don't compromise her.
Compromise her?
Been one scandal in the family already. That's quite enough.
What are you talking about?
Bound to hear about it sooner or later. Monica had a baby. She went off with Percy.
She married Percy.
Some people believe he was married already.
Where's she living?
Albany. Oh, that's the last we heard anyway. She seemed very restless after you went away. Kept going off to the Reds' place.
What do you mean going off to the Reds' place?
Be sensible, Jack. Don't go looking for trouble.
Well, we're cousins, so why not?
Kept going off to the Reds' place.
Why are you going away?
Esau will expect to win.
Come back.
Esau always expects to win.
How often do you shave, lad? Eh? Once a month? Eh? Eh? Or do you want to fight?
Yeah.